Okay, ụtụtụ ọma ụmụ Chineke, we are here once again to welcome you to our show, and we have to play our song.
Our nation, Biafra, our land, Biafra, our nation, Biafra, our land, Biafra. We are fighting for a nation full of love. Our nation, Biafra, guiding up hope and peace and joy. Our nation, Biafra, no matter what you have or where you are. Our nation, Biafra, everybody, let's come together. Our nation, Biafra, no one is to be rejected. No one is to be neglected. No one is to be defenseless. All in Biafra land. Oh, it's time to give justice a chance. So, and reject the evil ones. Restore our nation, love. We are fighting for a nation full of love. Our nation, Biafra love. Guiding up hope and peace and joy. Our nation, Biafra love. No matter what you have or where you are. Our nation, Biafra love. Everybody, let's come together. Our nation, Biafra love. We are supposed to have peace. No more oppression. Nobody will rob our children of the future and riches. No more games of politics. Just love and equality. Hope for humanity. That's how it's supposed to be. We are fighting for a nation full of love. Our nation, Biafra love. Guiding up hope and peace and joy. Our nation, Biafra love. No matter what you have or where you are. Our nation, Biafra love. Everybody, let's come together. Our nation, Biafra love. We are one strong family, one people. We are one strong family, one people. We are fighting for a nation full of love. Our nation, Biafra love. Guiding up hope and peace and joy. Our nation, Biafra love. No matter what you have or where you are. Our nation, Biafra love. Everybody, let's come together. Our nation, Biafra love.
Our nation, Biafra land. I love that song. A garden of hope, peace, and love, where all our people, all our children will be taken care of. No one will be neglected. And that ties into our topic today, the devastating effects of foreign interests in Nigeria. We want a garden of hope, peace, and love for our children, but these foreign invaders that have foreign interests, they keep coming on and destroying our continent and leaving our children hungry while their own is overweight, obese. You will see a 2-year-old, they will look like they are 40 years old because they have eaten all the food in the world by themselves. And then you go to my nation, you go to my continent, Africa, my people are dying. Good day, Biafrans, friends of Biafrans, and lovers of freedom all over the world. My name again is Mona Chimso Aga. I am here in Houston, Texas. I am a Biafran American. And I have my sister, Augusta. Please introduce yourself.
Good morning, Sister Mona. Good morning, people all over the world. Good morning, Sister Akwi. We are here as usual to talk about what will benefit us and how we are going to navigate these problems that we have and the best way we can approach them. So thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Augusta Nasike, a proud Biafran American. Thank you.
Thank you, Wachnek. And of course, I have my sister, AP. Please, sister, introduce yourself.
Good day, my people. Good day, listeners. Good day, freedom fighters. Good day, lovers of freedom. My name is Wada Eputosunamadi Begi, and we're here this morning to discuss, like my sister said, the things that will benefit all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wada. Thank you so much. Of course, before we get started, We don't get anything down without asking Him, connecting with Him first. Dear Lord, as we face these uncertain times in our land, we ask you, Lord, to dwell amongst us. We are comforted by the knowledge that you alone are our Maker and our Redeemer and the ultimate Master of our lives. We trust our land to your loving care and protection, Lord. Send your Spirit to touch the hearts of our people. Give us the wisdom to always tell the truth, know what is right, and the courage to do it. Give us your light and your truth to guide us in our way so that we may only seek your will in our lives and impart the word around us for your kingdom. Rock of Ages, we know that you have strategically placed those of us in diaspora for a time like this to speak for the voiceless and fight for the weak. You have also endowed us with power, authority, and wealth to build a nation where other Africans will ultimately gain their freedom and create a continent fit for human survival. You know that we are not asking for something that does not belong to us, but rather something that will liberate mankind. Therefore, Lord, we are asking for your intercession as we play our role in actualizing this God's mandate. In Chukwokike's name we have prayed. Amen. Again, our topic today is the devastating effects of foreign interest in Africa. Everybody have, heard of the word foreign interest. This is not the first time. Foreign interest is the involvement of foreign governments in our continent. It could be in the form of foreign policy, foreign politics, foreign aid, foreign trade. This ought to be a relationship for mutual benefit. But for years, these so-called supernations have been too greedy, too selfish, and even irresponsible in terms of what they're doing in our continent. Right from slavery, pre-colonial, colonial, no-colonial era, it has been exploitation upon exploitation in our African soil. They use the word Commonwealth. Commonwealth is a term created to rob African nations, using the word from Africa to take care of their nations and leaving us unstable and poor. They create obesity in their country. They create kwashiorkor and malnutrition in Africa. One thing these world leaders have failed to realize is that their rascality will eventually have a huge consequences. Of course, if it's not today, then it will be tomorrow. Nothing lasts forever. We know that nothing lasts forever. People that anything that goes up must come down, right? If we think about it, we have a nation called the nation of Greece before. Where are they? These are the Greek Empire and all these things that they did, but where are they now? And they are struggling to survive. Weak nation will not continue to be weak, and excessive power has an expiration date. Truth can never be hidden forever. Lies, of course, will be exhausted one day. Even in Africa, even if African children do not ask questions today, maybe the children of this Western nation will begin to ask their fathers and grandfathers questions. Why is this? Why is Africa so rich in resources, in diamonds, in gold, in cobalts, every other resources, and yet they are so poor? Why are African children running out of Africa continent? Who is making Africa so uninhabitable? Why do African children go to bed hungry? Why are there no hospitals, electricities, infrastructures, roads, schools in Africa for African children? If one says corruption is everywhere, but there's corruption here in America. There's corruption everywhere, but they are not running out. You can deceive some people sometimes, but you can't deceive some people all the time. The point is that this foreign interest is killing us. This foreign interest is destroying us. The foreign interest has no benefit for us because at the end of the day, they end up giving money to whoever that is in charge for their own interest and not for the interest of the populace. Sister Augusta, please give us some insight on the effects of foreign interest in our land.
Exactly, Sister Muna. You say foreign interest, and I would say foreign interest indeed. Because when they say foreign interest, you would think this foreign interest is going to cover you. It's going to cover the African continent. But the truth about it is that in no way covering the African continent. It is for the people that are supposedly foreign. So it's quite sad that the citizens of the nation do not know what their government calls foreign interest. They don't know what the meaning actually, of these foreign interests. Basically ethnic cleansing of the indigenous people. endless systemic serial killing and massacre of our people, political extermination of leaders that want to do well for African nations, thereby subjecting the people to an unbelievable level of enslavement. They do this all the time. All the time that they found that one political leader, especially in the African continent, wants to liberate his own people out of the abject poverty that they found themselves. They would figure out how to eliminate this leader. They will figure out how to, the leader can even be eliminated by his second in command or by his best friend. They know how to do this. So we have to wake up and know that the said foreign interest is not for us. It's not. It is for the Western world. So why do they do this? They secretly enter our lands and communities as so-called geologists. That is what they do, basically. They also enter as missionaries as well, not just geologists. They enter as missionaries. They enter as, oh, they are trying to have vacation in Africa, in the remotest part of Africa. They enter us, and we don't even know what they are doing. These people will be wearing shirts. They'll be carrying cameras. They'll be carrying telescopes in the name of vacationing in Africa. But they have an hidden agenda. They have an agenda to come and figure out what kind of mineral resources we have. And once they do that, they take it back to their country and do some kind of analysis, qualitative analysis to figure out what they have. So before you know it, they are backpacking sand, picking stones, scraping the ground. And our people will think that these people are so humble, not knowing that they are analyzing your sand and for resources. They do that all the time. They will come and, they'll pick, because with the sand, you are able to do what is called chromatography. That helps you to determine the amount of particular elements in the soil. So when they do this, you say, the chahet, let alone your child that is putting hand in dirt. He's not putting hand in dirt, he's putting hand in money, in treasure. That's what he's doing. Well, that we don't know. The next thing they will do is that if they figure out that this thing has some kind of element that they want for something they needed to produce, they will go through the village leaders. They might go through the chief of the land, or they go through a friend of, they just have to go through somebody to be able to get that plot of land, or that, depending on how large the land is, they will do that. Then they will set up communities against community, brothers against brother. A brother would want to sell this land for some meager amount, and he didn't know that he is actually selling the wealth of his family to a foreigner. Sometimes they don't even come in form of foreigners. They go through somebody to buy that plot of land to be able to siphon what we have in our little community. So they do that by that. They will sow seed of discord amongst brothers, and they will use the politicians of the land. They do that all the time, and they start fighting and killing each other. Why these people are busy stealing everything, including the gods of our land. Yes, when they come, they will come and carry, all the I'm not trying to talk about idol worshiping, but guess what? All the opposition, like all these things that are carved, that most families have in their compounds, like your falls and all that. These people, they know how these things supposedly are protecting the community. So what do? They will come and carry it and bring it to the foreign land and put it in a museum. That is what they do. And you won't even know what these people are after. They usually will select the most wicked of all the tribes. They will train and equip them to kill the rest. In the case of the zoo, the Fulanese are the people that the British have equipped to continue to kill us. They know this. And that is why each time we run to them for help, they're not listening to us. They don't care about us. It's not about us. It's about them. It's about what they are trying to get out of our land.
Mm-hmm.
And in quantum, we have every kind of mineral resources. We have the manpower. We have the natural resources. We have everything in quantum. So they would come and continue to molest us. This is what is called molestation of its highest order. They do that. In our own case, they chose the Fulani. And the Fulani are killing machine. Oh, God. You see, the Britain doesn't even have to fight war with Africa. No, neither would French have to fight war with Africa as a continent. All they needed to do is put Fulanis there to continue to massacre our people. And what do we have to show for it? What do we have to show for the Commonwealth supposedly. What do we have to show with all these foreign interests, supposedly? Oh, foreign interest covers Africa. No, 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 it does not. So they've been killing Africans for years, for centuries, roaming about with cattle while they wait for signal. So these nomadic Fulani guys have just one agenda, and that agenda is to kill us. That agenda is to take away what belongs to us. And what they told them about the agenda is that they have to spread their religion far and near. Britain doesn't care.
Right, in exchange for the killing.
In exchange for the resources. Britain doesn't care who you worship. They don't even believe in God to start with. They don't. But they want the Fulanis to use the fact that everybody has to be a Muslim or everybody has to be a jihadist, then they will go ahead and continue to kill. So this is the supposed foreign interest they're preaching to us. But in all honesty, is for their own pocket. Thank you, my sister. Stop for now.
Yeah, my sister, it's only for their pocket. If we don't wake up as Africans, if we don't wake up in that continent, the children of Lucifer will come in and, continue their destruction. So, and God is not going to come from heaven to do it for us. As we have always said in this show, God has been in heaven all these years, 400 years. They came, they did the slavery, took brothers and sisters, killed them, massacred them, deposited them all over the world, and he didn't come down. So it's about time that you stop believing that fakeness of that, oh, your reward is in heaven, God will do it for you. He's not doing it for you. You're going to do it the way people on this earth, the one that we have seen worked. They get stronger and then they come and do what they need to do. It's just that simple. So isn't it sad, Sister Ekwe, that these people only have foreign interests only where there is resources or where there are resources?
Exactly, my sister. That's what they do. That's the only time you hear things like Augusta said, things for them to scrape and pick and collect, putting their hands in so-called debt, but they are putting their hands in wealth. That's the only time they have foreign interest. And when you see some of these other places where they don't really have much, they don't go there to have foreign interest. So you find out that these so-called super nations, they know what they're doing. They have bullied Africa into submission, because that's what I call it. It's bullying, pure bullying. You go and bully Africa, steal everything they have, and say it's foreign interest. No. So through the years, they've used all manner of tools to subdue Africa and African leaders. That's the only agenda. How to bully Africa and their leaders, how to subdue them, how to subject them into abject poverty, and then steal everything that is in the land. Even if it's packing sand, they will pack it. So once you refuse their wickedness as a leader, like Sister Augusta said, once you refuse to accept their terms, sorry, is that called?
No,
once you refuse to accept their terms and conditions, they will attack you and your people. They will come for you. They've been doing it since 1800. It's not now. They will find a way to make you people to fight wars. They will find a way to destroy you because you have refused to accept their terms and conditions. During slavery and colonization, they brought false religion. That's just one of the tools they use. Because when we mention religion, people think that, oh, we don't like Christianity, we don't like this. That's not what we're saying. The one they brought to you is a false version. They gave you a false version of everything. Even Islam is false. The one in Africa is false. Imagine people who worship Satan teaching you how to worship God. Does it make sense?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. The Bible that people say they gave you, they don't read that Bible. They only they transported it to Africa, not that they brought it to do anything for you. They do not. Some people say, oh, it's in the Bible, thou shalt not steal. How come they're stealing? Because they are not Christians. They are not worshiping God. They are Gentiles. That's who they are. That's their true identity. We're not saying that one of them or few of them do not worship God. But those colonial masters, those people that came to steal our things and are still continuing to steal our things to today, they are all Satanists. They don't worship God. So if you are talking God and you are begging and crying and telling them that they are not listening to you, so when we fought slavery and colonization, they brought bioterrorism. You see the Ebola they brought to that zoo, that country called zoo, that Nigeria, that Ebola is bioterrorism. Because that type of Ebola was genetically modified to wipe people up. Our life, that area, there's no business that we have with Ebola. We don't have business with monkeys. There's no reason. But they brought that man that they brought, and the way he did everything, sprinkled blood on all our doctors and health professionals. You know that they sent him. And they know that once he enters Nigeria, 200 million, it will destroy a lot of people. But Chukwokike that we serve said, no, it won't happen. My people, the people that bear my name are in this land. Your evil cannot thrive. HIV is also not natural. It's bioterrorism. Imagine the time they started. It's a long time they started. They continue, introduce poisonous chemicals in our food to kill our brain cells and our ability to reason. Because they know that we are people that have common sense. You see, these people, they study you. What they do, like the Bible says, the enemy comes to kill, to steal, and destroy. That's all. As they sleep and wake up, what they think of is, how do we destroy Africa? How do we steal everything in Africa? That's the only job they do. You see them sitting down in vacation, trying to put their bomb under the sun. No, they are thinking of how to destroy you and how to steal your land. That's what is in their mind. When they are creative, is how to destroy, not how to build, like the children of Chukwokike Abiyama. When the children of Chukwokike Abiyama are being creative, they are thinking of how to build. But these ones, when they become creative, is how to destroy. That's their own creativity. So they brought poisonous food. This your Maggi. Our mothers, they didn't used to use Maggi to cook food. And you notice that in those days, children from village and children from town, they reason differently in terms of common sense, having common sense. And our mothers used to say, they say, oh, I can't really Maggi. You know, the children that they use Maggi to raise. There's something in that Maggi, Ajinomoto, monosodium glutamate, all those things, they are not good for the brain. By the grace of Chukwokike, when we finish establishing and restoring Biafra, we will do researches and confirm these things that we are saying, that we are not just talking. You see that their soda, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, all those things that they are feeding you with sugar. And then feeding you with sugar, the Chukwokike creates you that you be eating sugar to be alive. No, they're supposed to eat food. And the food is supposed to have medicinal properties. That as you eat those food, your body is getting restored. That's where Chukwokike made it. But they continue to poison Africa. Today now we have plastic rice, plastic fish, plastic meat, even human meat, everything that Africa became the dumping ground, the dustbin of the world. The shithole, as they call it, they know what they're saying. They know what they created. They took the resources in Africa and in turn created shithole where they dump refuse, dump plastic rice, dump poisons, dump poisonous chemicals, dump anything that will kill human beings. That's why we're saying this morning that the foreign interest in Africa is not for the good of Africans. Thank you, my sisters.
My sister, it's not. It will never be. And the evidence is all around of all the evil that these people has bestowed upon us. So it's up to us to wake up. It's up to us to understand what the truth is. It's up to us to rise up to the occasion and to the challenge. Because these people, they do not expect, they still don't know why, they still can't understand why we're here. Because like my sister said, this Maggi and Rocco and all these things, they've been producing it since we were little. I remember when people were going home to the dormitory, your mother will buy you a container of Maggi. Do you guys know that here in America, they don't eat Maggi? You will never see any American dish that they will ask you to put Maggi. This Maggi is only sold in a third world country. So this is one of the agents that they brought to our land to ensure that they destroy our pituitary gland, destroy our thinking faculty, for God's sake. And they don't want to give it to us in a large quantity, because if they do, then you will die. So what they do, they give it to you in a small quantity. You put a little in your food, you put a little in your food. As they are doing this thing is modifying our brain, it's modifying our reasoning processes, it's modifying all kinds of stuff. And that's why when we see something going wrong, the only reaction we can get is either we make fun of it or we sit there and pretend like it's not happening. Whereas here in America, when they see a problem, they solve it. When we see problem here, we massage it, we praise it, we pray about it, we dance around it, we toss it up in the air, we bounce it back to our hands, back and forth. Whereas all we needed to do is to solve that problem. And for every problem, there's a solution. So the truth of the matter is that these evil world leaders are like those on hard drugs. It's an addiction. They wouldn't mind selling everybody off in order to maintain their wasteful, expensive lifestyle. They are flying to Paris for lunch as people die in the Mediterranean Sea. What about their yachts and their private jets? Are we talking about vacation homes all over the world? They feel like they are very entitled. So that means if your demise means that their entitlement continues, that's what they will do. They will swallow others in order to survive. They will not mind sacrificing everyone to maintain their hard drug addiction. Because when you're addicted, really, most of the time, really, you can't help yourself. The only thing that makes sense to you is that thing that you're addicted to. They are too self-absorbed to notice the pain they are causing humanity, especially in Africa. Their wasteful lifestyle of this individual is enough to build us hospitals, is enough to build us roads, is enough to take care of the infrastructures that we are lacking in Africa. If they could even agree to cut down to third, so you get a whole, you cut it down into 2/3, you're missing just 1/3, they will still have more than enough. No wonder the president of North Korea, he wouldn't mind starving his people, just not so he wouldn't give up his weapon, because he understands the weapon is what speaks. Weapon allowed America to come and, forced America to come and speak to him. Buhari has killed more people than Gaddafi and Saddam Hussein put together, and they still want one Nigeria under Jubril so they can continue to steal. While they are killing, while you're going to funeral and crying and, lamenting while you're dying at the Mediterranean Sea, all they want is your resources. The human rights lawyers, they have turned blind-eyed. Of course, CNN is playing deaf and dumb. They even, when they do report, they will call it farmers clash, herdsman's clash, local clash. But when one person gets shot here, the other day I was coming back from work and I saw a pig that died on the, it's like a roadkill. I don't know what happened to the pig. Do you know police was surrounding that pig to remove it so that people will not see it? A pig is your hair. Pig from the forest. But the bodies of our people are laying all over the place. Necks are being cut off, and the only thing that CNN can report to people, to the public, is that it's a farmers clash, so they can minimize what they are doing, why the slave masters are stealing our resources. They keep supplying them with weapons to wipe away Biafrans and steal our resources. America has enough oil to last them 100 years. We live here in Texas. This is an oil country, oil state. They have so much oil. But guess what? They keep wanting the one in our Africa while people are dying. They keep causing our people to leave their homes because it's so uninhabitable. Every day, the Archbishop of Canterbury will meet with the killers of Christians, with Jubril and his cohorts. They do not even hide their shameful acts. It amazes me that foreign invaders do not see Africans as people with the right to survive. They have turned us animals, monkeys, and baboons, but yet, when the conditions are equal, when the conditions are met, we survive more than their people. We beat all odds and we excel. Even though they are poisoning us slowly through our food, they are poisoning us through their so-called foreign aid, they are poisoning us through the air that we breathe, we survive. Like Maya Angelou will say, we'll rise. All we are saying, leave our continent for us and see what we can do. It is just that simple. Please, Sister Augusta, the colonial master did the same evil to India and Rwanda, and now they seem to be taking their lives back, right?
Oh yes, oh yes. They did the same thing with India and Rwanda. And it seems that both countries have been able to deliver their people from these evil agents. They have. Though Britain stayed in India for 200 years, I believe, or even longer. They stayed longer in India than they stayed in Biafra land. But guess what? The Indians preserved everything. They preserved their culture, they preserved their language, they preserved their accent. Oh my God, speak to an Indian. You would have to ask her to repeat two, three times for you to understand what she or he is saying. So they preserved that. They preserved their dressing. Their women still wear this, I don't know, this their beautiful George with I don't know what it's called. They preserved it. They preserved their arranged marriage. Indians still do arranged marriage in the 21st century. Even though I'm not a fan of an arranged marriage, but guess what? It is working for them. So they preserved that. They also took what works for them and they discarded what they don't need. They took the supposed technology and they discarded what does not make sense to them. Guess what? If you're looking for the tech engine of the Western world, Indians, they are the ones on computer, they are the ones making software, they are the ones making this, making that. Oh my God, they are because they left what does not make sense to them. They went ahead and took the only thing that they know to subvert the others. And guess what? Today, Indian is actually the technological. Is it hubbub or how do I say?
Yeah,
Of the
yeah.
they know it when it comes to software applications, when it comes to whatever computer, they are so sound. Now let's come to Rwanda, so close to home. They did a whole lot. Rwanda fought wars several years ago, not too long ago, that several people were killed. While they were being killed, the Western world did not pay attention. Do you know where they did pay attention? Because in Rwanda, you will find what is called diamond. They were able to find a lot of diamond in Rwanda. So while there was trouble between the Tutsi and the rebel and all that, while they were fighting, these people were busy digging the ground to get that diamond. What they call it blood money. To get that diamond, to refine it and sell it to you and I. So guess what? They did that. But something the new president is doing that is so fascinating. It hasn't in the space of Africa. It hasn't been done before. So the new president, the first thing he did was to remove about 100 colonial laws, harmful colonial laws. He removed about 1,000. Sorry, he removed about 1,000 harmful colonial laws. He cleaned out the churches and the mosque. Look, if you have to have a church today, you must have had at least a minimum of 7 years studying of theology and philosophy and even psychology. You can't just come here and use one corner and open church the way we have it in the zoo. Every street will have like 10 or 15 churches. It's never gonna. It no longer happens in Rwanda. So that is what the first thing that he did. He now started economically empowering his own people, empowering them. So they are now trying to look for excuse to bring him down, the way they did GED. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I listened to one of the interviews he had with I can't even remember what station that is. They were trying to tell him that they were asking him about human rights. That his government is devoid of human rights. He is not. He is killing the rebels, or he's killing the second party, whatever. He's killing others. And he was telling the lady, said, if you are talking about human rights, have you talked about human rights in your own area where you allow blacks to be killed indiscriminately like that? You have not even talked about your own form of human rights. You're talking about the human rights in Rwanda. There's no problem with the human rights in Rwanda because Rwanda has woken up. So they're trying to pull him down. Remember we said earlier, if one of the leaders decides to wake up and work for his people, they will pull him down. Just as they pulled the former, I think, ambassador to the UN or whatever, that lady that they took her job recently, the one has been talking about how France has subdued African countries, and some African countries still pay about $500 billion to France You understand? Annually. These are mega countries that cannot feed their children. Still pay some money to France in this 21st century. So if you go out there and you start talking, they will figure out a way to eliminate you. So it's time for us that are Biafrans, it's time for us to continue to clean our brains. That is how we are calling our people to rise up. Let's team up to fight our common enemy. The first step is to reverse everything that they gave us. Starting with the image of the white Jesus. As I was telling one of my friends yesterday, I said, you guys are worshiping the white Jesus. Oh my God. They started lambasting me. I just walked away from them because I don't know what to say. Because I'm like, they gave you, and the Jesus we know is from Jew, is a Jewish man. But we have a picture of a white, clear-skinned guy. So we have to start that. We have to start cleaning all those images. Since we now know that Jesus Christ, Yeshua Mashiach, did not come as a white man, he was a Jew. So, and Jew, their skin is not pure white. Leave what you see on television. Because so far you continue to see Jesus as white, you will continue to see white man as your God and superior to you. And that makes us Africans have some form of inferiority complex. Because we see the white man as God versus seeing him as the original Onwe that God talked about. So we want to take pictures with them and post on Facebook. People do that a lot. Hey, I took picture with this. Oh my God. We want to see yourself as being able to perform more better than a white man. You always look forward to him for validation. We do that. We want them to validate what we are doing, even though we are doing the right thing.
It's sickening.
It's sickening. Even though you are doing more than they even want you to do. You still want that validation for them to be able to say, hey, yeah, you have a pass mark on this. We want to do that. You abandon your brothers and sisters for a white man to help you. Looking for a white man to help. You do not want to do for what you can do for yourself. How can worshippers of Satan lead you to God? That's one thing we have to start asking ourselves. People that worship
How can
Satan,
the person killing you lead you to God? The one stealing your resources, the one destroying your land all these years. How can
they lead you to God? Like the Bishop of Canterbury always coming to meet Jubril. Is it deaf or is it dumb or is it blind that is not seeing that Christians are being killed under this guy's regime? These people practice Christianity. So why does he care more about what Jubril, fraternizing with Jubril versus protecting we that believe in the God that they showed to us?
My dear, they brought you a strategic tools that they're going to use to steal your resources. So because it's up, yeah, we are the dumb people that chose to believe what they brought to us and let them loose in our land to steal all our resources. All their Bible means to them is a business tool that they're going to use to bring you down. That's all it meant to them, nothing else.
Exactly. And our people have not woken up to the idea that this is exactly these people's model operandi. We've not woken up to that idea. It's their way of operation. It's the tool. It's the process. It's the thing that they want to use that they will continue to use if we do not wake up. So we have to start denouncing the zoo. We need to also denounce the image of their white Jesus. We need to begin to see white men as normal human beings that are able to harm you. Of course, they would harm you.
They're already harming you.
They're not sentimental. You know, our people were the ones that are sentimental. These people, they don't give, oh my God, they don't care. So we have to start opening our eyes. In fact, it's not safe for you to trust a white man because he can lie and cheat too. Who talked us for one night? Not with them. Fraud. What do you mean? Figure it out. They are the ones that they aced all these things. And they are the one, and we are the ones that they are using as the tool to continue to dismantle whatever we can even achieve as humans. So know that the white man is your equal. He's not superior to you. There's nothing the white man can do that you can't do. That you can't even do, because God has given you actually, God has given you the brain. You don't even need.
And we have the mental toughness. They don't have it. We have the mental toughness to go through hell and come back in celebration.
All you need that is the Biafran audacity. You need to like showcase what you know.
Yes.
Yes, that is all that we need now. So there's not cannot do. You have to begin in for your freedom. You can't start doing that. Looking up to a white man for your freedom comes to the price, because the white man does not want what will favor you. They told you they brought you God. They can't bring you God though. They want to bring you God so that you go to heaven, when the heaven is supposed to be reserved for them. So we need to start thinking. We need to start getting ourselves away from that mental slavery. It's going to help. These people know how to push us. And if we don't start figuring out that, hey, we are not in any way equal. We are not, God made us differently. If we start understanding that, then we will know our capability and we'll be able to show off our progress. We'll be able to show off what God has given to us. And it's not late. The time for us to start is now, not tomorrow. We need to start it now. And guess what? Anytime they find out that we, especially the Biafrans, are trying to move up in the ladder, they will cut it short. Right now, I observed that the is the Airpeace guy, the Onyema that own Airpeace in Nigeria, has been indicted for fraud, and in the US, has been indicted for fraud and money laundering. Why? Because this guy helped to get our people out from South Africa. Now they are trying to pin him down. That is the strategy. It will always be the strategy. They will pull you down. So if we have to start understanding that we need to start going out there to make it known to the world, hey, enough is enough. We can't take this anymore. And if we don't do that, we will remain in the condition that they have placed us. Thank you, my sisters.
My sister, you said it right. We will remain in the same condition they have placed us if we don't speak up. If only we can begin to tell ourselves that we are enough. We know they have soaked us in inferior complexity. They have done all these things, but if only you can recognize that is enough the way God has made the person, I think it will take us a long way. We really have to do the needful. We really have to tell these people that we know what they are doing. They say, I know what you've been doing. We know what they are doing. So we really have to do the needful. Sister, please continue.
Yes, my sister, you're right. We really need to stand up and start doing the needful. Like Sister Augusta was trying to explain how evil these people are. I said, no wonder our Lord Yeshua HaMashiach said that Lucifer is masquerading himself like an angel of light. That means there's been a deception sold to the world, especially the God's people. You now start looking at somebody that was sent by Lucifer to come and destroy you as your God, or somebody that looks like your God, or that your God looks like your enemy. That's the end now.
I know.
That's the end. So for the longest time, the black man saw the white man as holy and unable to do any evil.
Mm-hmm. Next
when
to
you
Jesus.
Want to say something is right, you say, oh, your child, it's white. It's not today the thing started. It started a long time. No wonder the Pope has remained white. Have you ever seen a black Pope?
No, it will destroy the place. It will destroy with too dark. Mm-hmm.
Yes. In fact, even our people cannot imagine a black Pope. If you don't discuss with us, why can't your rings or whatever become Pope? Like, no, black Pope. Don't worry about it.
My dear, is so true. My dear, is so true.
That is the extent of brainwashing. The extent. People that are not even as holy as you are not looking at them as your God. Meanwhile, they are your enemies. They are killing you. They are here to destroy you, to kill you, and to steal everything you have. The day a human being starts looking at the person that has come to kill him as his God, that's the end of that human being now.
Mm-hmm.
So we are saying it is time for us to begin to clean up our brains. The freedom we are looking for is starting from self self-freedom, self-emancipation.
Yes.
Clean out your brain.
Yes. Yes.
And like we told you, you have to start returning what they gave you back. The things that your enemy gave you, that they gave you to kill you, you need to start returning it. Say, hey, brother, take it. I don't need this one. You check again, you say, this one, I don't need it. Brother, please take this one back, okay? Let me use the one I'm used to. Start from what you eat. Go back to your food. There's medicine in your food. Our food, they are very medicinal. Meant for us. The God that created us, made us, then planted things around us. We are living in the Garden of Eden. People read Bible and they don't understand. God creates you, put you in the Garden of Eden where everything you need is inside.
I know.
So the plants around you, you need it. Everything. It's time to go back. Like we said, stop eating Maggi. We are calling Maggi. They have all those spices. All those what they know it. But we're just using, Maggi is a brand name.
Yes. So I think they have they have all this other brand name. That cube thing that you put in your soup or your food. Yeah, what for a square. Stop eating it. That's number one. Whether it's Maggi brand or no brand.
Royco. Yeah, they have Royco. They have you know the white Maggi. That one is actually the most dangerous one that Chinese use to make their food. And all these things that when you go to Chinese restaurant, you think that those people that are making the food, they eat all that junk. They don't. They don't eat all that nonsense that they prepare for you, that you go, you relish, you start licking your mouth. So that white Maggi, basically, that white Maggi, my mom used to use it to wash her white blouse for Christian Mothers Association. She used to wash her white blouse with the white Maggi. So it bleaches. So I don't even know what it called. And it contains MSG and so many other things. So it bleaches. If you can wash a white blouse, pure white, you can imagine how it's going to wash your stomach.
Your brain.
So, your brain. So, oh my God. Sorry, sister, if we forgot it.
No, you're not cutting my sister. It is true now. Something that can wash the blouse white. It's going to wash your brain white. Your brain is gray. It will wash it white. Nothing is inside it again. Abuba. I will say someone will ubuleke. So they are turning our whole brain to ubuleke. No wonder our mothers and our people did not eat all these artificial flavors. And they have common sense. The only thing they couldn't do was speak English. They couldn't speak English.
That's
because
it.
English was not their language.
Right. And it does not make them dumb. It does not make them stupid. It does not make them less of a human being. It's merely a language. The same way a white person cannot speak your language, the same way my mother cannot speak their language. And it does not demean my mother in any kind of way. It does not make her any kind of different human being. It is her language. Elisa's language is Elisa's language. And we need to get that through our head. We should stop intimidating our people with the fear of, oh, you can't speak English. Your English is very funny. English is not their language. So therefore, it will be very funny. We are going to take back what belongs to us. The Chinese, for you to do business here with them, do you know before they schedule any business meeting with you here in America, you have to bring somebody that speaks Mandarin. That's why American businesses here now teaching people how to speak Mandarin. So if they want to do business with us, they can speak our languages. There's no reason why we should subject ourselves into learning their language and making fun of our sisters and brothers when they don't get their language. Who the hell is Elisa? Does Elisa speak my language? Does Elisa speak my language? Sorry, my sister, I'm so upset about this language stuff.
Right, yeah, it is true. It's like sometimes arguments with my children. They say, oh, Mom, it's not pronounced that way. I said, that's the way I want to pronounce it. Did you understand what I said? Yes, okay. I said, can they pronounce Igbo with my accent? I said, leave me alone. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just leave me. I will say it the way I feel like saying it. So, English is not a test of IQ. It's not a test of common sense. Because we have seen people that are speaking so eloquently. There's no common sense in their brain. That's why they sold us. Sold us like cheap article to our enemies. We are saying our forefathers, from what they were eating, they had common sense. They had common sense. You can't deceive them, except that they deceived some of them because of the pray they were speaking. And that's then they began to bring religion to now show them that this God is white God. It's looking like me. That means I'm your God. So they went a long way to deceive our people, and it's a generational thing. And we are saying, it's still going to be in this our generation that we'll go back to who we used to be. And if we start with you, people have been asking, what can I do? What can I do? Listen to us now. What you do is start changing what you eat. On this platform, we told you boycott Hausa Fulani food. Even Indians, they do not eat cow meat just because they say cow is their god. Do you know that if they are eating food and there's beef in your food, Indian friends will go outside and stand because they cannot watch you eat a god.
that is so true, Sister Ekwi. I had that with my two Indian colleagues that I was working with. Each time they see me eat my rice spiced with all kinds of orishirishi, they will just move away. And they will tell me that I am eating their God. Is your God? That's what I used to ask them. What is the truth? That is what they worship. You understand? So they now say that they are vegans, they are vegetarians, they are this and this. I'm like, wow, you guys don't know what you are missing. But in all honesty, probably I'm the one that don't even know what I'm missing, you know?
My sister, that's why we're saying now we have reason to boycott Nama, because they are killing us. The people that are carrying Nama come and kill us in our villages. So why do you want to purchase and patronize the person that is killing you? It's common sense. But we have realized that people don't have common sense anymore because they're eating nonsense. The things that kill their brain cells. That's why they're begging them, do this, do this. How can somebody beg you to come out from fire? Fire is burning you, they're begging you. That means you don't have common sense anymore. So we are begging our mothers that cook food most of the time, please drop Maggi, drop drop all this. We have also done that. We're not telling you what we are not doing.